Welcome back to another episode of the Simucube podcast. I'm Freddie, your host. I'm in the marketing team and I'm a content creator. And I'd like to welcome Senior Digital Marketing Strategist Toni. Welcome, Toni.
Thank you very much.
I have a few questions for you, and I'd like to talk about the brand.
That's always my pleasure to talk about.
So how does Simucube define itself as a brand in the sim racing market? That's an easy question to start with.
Well, it's an interesting brand because usually with brands you don't strive for being the best. You don't start from the top. You think about the market usually, but Simucube doesn't work like that, and it's really interesting way of working. I think this is from the foundations of Simucube. So we have kind of a history in doing things excellent from the granite devices time already, or precision and performance, and those kind of things were really important from the beginning, from the get-go. And I think that is something that has carried through to Simucube also. So and that is how we define ourselves. We don't think about the market so much.
Yeah.
We first think on the value that we can bring to the market, and we start from the top. And that's kind of an interesting way. What new can we do? Somebody calls it innovation, but I think it's in everything that we do. We try to do the best when we can. Like, we don't do it if we cannot do it properly. So that's the thing, and I don't think Simucube succeeds in things that it doesn't do well. So that's kind of the mental thing that how we actually approach to the brand and also the sim racing market.
So would you say that is a way that Simucube makes its decisions on products in a way?
Yeah.
It's not just, okay, we're going to do this, but there's a reason.
Yeah, and I don't think it's about the products only. It also goes to other things that we, even the partners, or even the marketing campaigns. We try to think on what is the real value here, what we do the best, and what can we actually improve in the world. Like in general, it's really hard to do, but it's also very satisfying when you succeed in doing that.
How do we incorporate user feedback into the brand and make decisions, not just for products, but as a brand? How do we do that?
Well, this is a little bit of a secret, but we follow a lot of the sim racing scene, even more than we actually participate on the commenting and that. But I think we actually observe a lot, and we have connections, the very, very wide connections to everywhere, and also the socials, Reddit and social media, Facebook groups, wherever, YouTube comments. We follow those a lot, and when we say we hear you, we actually mean that. Like we hear a lot of things that you say or the customers say. And even who are not yet our customers, but it's we'll still I think our the biggest problem or challenge we have is to keep the focus. So there's a lot of things that will be asked from us, and I understand the value, and we all understand the values, but what we can actually do and deliver, we try to only pick those. So that's the really, really hard part. So even though we come up with a kind of innovation or an idea, a crazy new idea, there's I think we try to, how do you say, test it against the sentiment or the feedback that we have gotten before. And the other thing that I would maybe bring out from the brand perspective is that we like to experiment. I think we should do it more, and this is one prime example of those. It doesn't always have to be perfect at the first time. I think there's a lot of this kind of improvement and kind of lean mentality inside Simucube, and that's something that I personally, as a senior, that's kind of my role to push, also make people trust more to experiment, but and also fail early. That's something that we would like to maybe do more in the future also.
And talking of growth, you've been at Simucube now for a few years and even working with Simucube before you even got here.
Yeah.
So how has the brand grown in your eyes up until now? And where do you see the brand going in the next 5 to 10 years?
I think the kind of the core of the brand has kind of been the same all the time. We have had kind of difficulties to how to communicate that, and also because there's new people joining the company. There are kind of the people that have been there growing up. That's something that I personally love to see. Everybody behind the camera also to see how you actually kind of take the brand as your own and deliver what is like incorporated in that. So I think there has been growth, but I think it's in the people more than in the actual brand. The brand is kind of a magnet for all of us. Like we're working for the brand. That's a cool thing, and it's. I've worked with many brands in Finland and also some of the international ones, and that's something that you don't usually so much see. So this is kind of a one in 1,000 or one in a million, almost something around that. So it's really hard to come by at this level. And that's something that I really get like personal reward from, to be able to give something also and give something for the brand, and it inspires me personally a lot.
It's a question for you then. What does the brand mean to you? What is Simucube to you?
Do you mean like brand as a concept or Simucube?
Simucube. If you had to describe Simucube to your grandmother or your mother, how would you describe it?
To my grandmother. Yeah, I think she's kind of she understands a lot, so I would probably use some kind of analogy. So I think there lives a race car driver inside almost everyone. So if you are seeking that kind of a feeling and you want equipment to help you with that, I think Simucube is the optimal tool for that. And I think it can be even more. It strives to be a better race car in a way, but you also, of course, it's a simulation. But I think there's some truth in that one. So I've described it as a teleport to the actual track. And also the other way, you can bring the track to you.
True.
So it's kind of both ways. Portal. We have been talking about it's kind of a portal, but it's done in hardware and software and technical technical creativity. So it's something like that. But yeah, that's something that I see it as a portal between being a race car driver, and you can pick whenever you want to do it. How much you want to do it, and you know the depth that you want.
How intense it wants to be.
The intensity of that. So, and I think that's the closest one you can get to in a simulation, in a consumer level, but also in some of the professional areas.
What kind of racer are you? Are you a competitive man? Are you an immersion type of person?
Yeah. Well. I like to win, and that's kind of my bad feature. So I have to tone it down. So if I'm kind of a endurance guy when I decide it, but there has to be a good reward. So when the stakes are high, I'm really gonna push it, and I'm also considering myself as a team player. I enjoy more on the other people's success than my own at this level, at this age. So that's something I really like. I consider myself more of a background guy here at Simucube, but as a racer, yeah, when the competition gets tough, I'm quite straight to the point than when it's a real competition. But it's not a strength always.
Okay, yeah. My final question then is, how do you see Simucube growing and adapting to the ever-changing sim racing market? We're seeing new products popping up here and there. How do you see it? Is this rooted in our innovation?
Yeah, I think so. There's something. Simucube is built on the technical creativity. So I don't think we can lose that. I think the brand dies if we lose that. So wherever we go, I think the technical creativity is going to be there. That's the core, and also that spreads to other things. But I think we have a lot of ways to continue now. That's kind of also a challenge. Where should we focus? So that's interesting to see. I myself have my own like responsibility, and also I can touch where we can go. But I also want to see that it's really rewarding direction that we go, and also that it makes sense to our people and also our customers. So I don't think we're and I'm for the customers. I'm even talking about the open sim wheel guys that are out there, like all the scene that has actually made Simucube happen. So it's a decision based on those. I'd like to give you a straight answer for that one, but it's always on the move also. So yeah, interesting stuff coming. There's interesting opportunities, interesting partners, interesting customers that we are having now, and I think it's really inspiring the ways that we can go to, and it's not gonna be I don't think there's gonna be a one single road that we are going to follow. Maybe the technical creativity is the road that seems the most obvious, but where that's going to happen, we're kind of disrupting the market and causing hassle also to the sim racing scene and also the simulation scene in general. So that I think it somehow is going to be connected to that one. So I don't know if that answers your question.
That's a very interesting answer and very interesting in general. So thank you very much, Toni, for joining us today. If you have any questions, then put them in the comments below, and we'll see you again next time. Thank you.
Bye-bye.